All right, before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being the true name of His only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and of course, much love to the hopefully elect. All right, this is my part two, if you will, on my testimony about how I believe through the Spirit I could possibly be of the elect as well as the 144,000 in relation to much tribulation that we were prophesied to go through in order to obtain this coming kingdom, man. And now we know Jacob's trouble is coming, but this is in reference to my own personal lot, man. It's some brothers out here that ain't never went through the certain situations other brothers have went through. Like I say, you got brothers out here married. It's some brothers ain't never really dealt with women like that. You got brothers out here been to war. You got brothers out here that ain't never even picked up a gun. Okay, and then we can just go on and go on. So, like I say, this is my lot. Okay, so I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, because it could get very long, and I would have to try to explain every aspect of the relationship that I have with my parents. Let's just say, for the sake of time and understanding and edification, that I don't have a very understanding relationship with my parents. I was raised as an only child, and if I am of the hopefully elect, hey man, this thing was predestined to go down just like this. But I thank the Lord for my parents. I have all the love and respect for them. But if judgment is required and I'm to be, a future king, a future God, then these things must be addressed. And let's get into it. So I have a daughter. I live in Georgia. I have a daughter. She stays up in Kentucky. I don't get to see her too much. This was about I can't remember the year. It was either, what is this, 2020? It was either 2019 or 2018. I don't know. The days go by so fast, man, I lose track of time. But one of those during the end of the year around so-called Thanksgiving. I got my daughter down here, okay, to visit. Not just for Thanksgiving, so-called Thanksgiving, but to visit my child. Like I said, I don't see her. Now, my daughter's 10 since she's been born. And since I've been dealing with my let's call them military issues, coming out the military, having to adjust, being in the world before I came into the truth, getting chastised from the Lord and things like that. My parents have had to, well, they haven't had to, because I've been paying child support ever since, my child's been alive pretty much. But let's just say my parents got all the money. All right, I just put it like that. My parents, you know how Jake is when they got a little success. And let's say my parents got a little success financially, at least. They ain't nowhere near rich or anything like that, but they at least think they are. And what happens when the people of our nation are prospering here and they don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of our heritage. All right, well, it's going to cause them to be prideful, and that's exactly what goes on with my parents, to the point that they're so prideful they can't see the truth. Now we can go back to me trying to prophesy to them. All right, of course, my daddy's a so-called exhorter. First, he started out as a deacon and things like that. I don't know what the hell that is, but I mean, it's basically the position that he holds is that of an assistant pastor. The pastor is a female at the church, and etc., etc., etc. So they're very intelligent people, but I said all of that to say pride can blind, uh, a good-hearted person, and that's what happens. Now we know about being in this thing of ours, the spirit that, well, we know the weak nature of the female, and we do know that when it comes to the enemy, that dealing with this spiritual warfare, they're easier target than men. So this Jezebel spirit, if you will, has always hopped on my mother. And my dad is so in love with this woman, okay, that he's blinded by every truthful thing that I say. And this is Yahweh no truth, man. So that spirit get on my mom and it get on my dad because he just so up her ass. I'm just keep it real. They're high school sweethearts, man. You understand me? They high school sweethearts. And that's what happens, man. So back to the story. So this has been an issue. We have a misunderstanding, and not from my lack of trying. I've tried to have meetings, family meetings. I've contacted other family members in relation to all the drama that we've had, and it just has gotten me nowhere but in trouble, in more trouble and more trouble, and alienated from the family. But going back to this night, all right, this is the day after Thanksgiving. I'm talking to my child downstairs at my parents' home, and my daughter brought up, I'll just be completely freaking honest, all right? I'm going to be completely honest. My daughter was making a so-called Christmas list. And, I think, like I say, I've only been in the truth for like maybe like 2.5 years. The truth, of who we are and things of that nature. But let's just say, for using wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, I told her to make me a list of what she wanted, and that's what she did. All right. Not to say I, participate in these wicked holidays, because I do not. And hell, it's Christmas today, and I'm by myself doing this video, but so-called Christmas. She made me a list, man, and when she got done with the list, what she said to me was basically she wasn't going to show it to me. She was going to show it to her grandparents, because her almost exact words were, they're going to be the one to basically purchase those items. Great, not an issue. I was so glad that she said that. And I feel like, and this is our relation to me possibly being another hopefully elect. Now, let's not forget that. We're going to get to it, but I'm going to bring out a quick precept in relation to the Lord being all powerful, doing what he wants, and putting the spirit on people to do certain things. So I feel like, with this wisdom and knowledge and understanding that I have thus far, that it is the Lord that have created this night for me to see these things. I have more testimonies and things like that, but this is this one. So I'm saying, Yahweh Ba'Shem, how shall I put the spirit on my daughter first and foremost to pop this thing off. So here's just a quick example of the Lord doing that, going way back to Exodus. And you already know where I'm going. Yeah, here we go. And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. All right, here's the point. But I say again, that's Yahweh saying, I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. Man, we can get real deep into the Exodus and things of that nature, but this going back to the Lord doing what he wants to, man. The Lord himself saying, hey, he's the one that's going to harden his heart. The Lord didn't have to do that. I'm sure, if the Lord didn't do that, maybe Pharaoh would have let our people go a lot earlier when he saw these calamities, coming, or those miracles, Moses and Aaron was doing. But I just wanted to make the point, the Lord can and will put the spirit on people to do certain things. He will harden people's hearts, and that's what happens this night with my parents, and usually does. But all right, going back to the list. So I took the list, and I'm telling you the Lord's truth, man. I know how to talk to my parents, so I'm not upset or anything, but I am going to address it, because this is the same stuff that I've been telling my parents. Hey, if you, basically my point is, don't always let my child see that it's just you guys doing all these things. I mean, I don't want to get that deep into it, but just one example, I still, not from lack of trying, and I'm sure I could find all this information, but once again, I'm in Georgia. My daughter's in Tennessee. It's 6 hours there. I don't even know where my child goes to school at, but my parents have been up in her school, up there in Tennessee on the first day of school, handing out cupcakes. You dig what I'm saying? So this is what I mean by overstepping there. I don't give a damn about what they do for my child or anything like that. My point has always been, don't be leaving the actual biological father out. Like I say, I'm their only child, and me being, Yahweh's son, I understand these things. I can see these things, and I have the gift of spiritual discernment. I can discern spirits, so I know when they're full of shit and they're BSing me. Okay, but if every time I bring up the truth, it ends up going haywire. So that's what happened this night. Now remember that Jezebel spirit in the woman, how weak she is, and okay, so I've brought the list up to my mom's room, and I told her what my child said, and I left it at that. My dad was outside washing the truck, and I went downstairs outside and I went to go talk to him about it. And I was like, look, this is why, I'm saying these things, because she only sees this, all right? They don't understand it because they're blinded. Just like they're blinded by the truth, period, okay? On what time it is and who we are. They're completely blinded, but thinking they're all perfect and holy. But it went haywire. All right, so this is it. Now I believe I've already did a video about this back in the day. I'm just, I guess, doing a little update or re-upload, if you will, but because this isn't the first time this has happened where I've seen the spirit hop on my parents. You understand me? Like I say, I've been in their synagogue, their so-called church, and have left and been outside in a fetal position from all this BS, this spiritual warfare. That's how crazy it was that day in that synagogue. I was outside in a fetal position, but that is another story. Okay, so I'm outside talking to my dad. It's about maybe 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. And I'm talking to him, and it's father to son. I'm my father's only child. He don't like to hear this shit, but for the most part, he was cool on it. I was irking his nerve a little bit by telling him the truth, because he don't like to hear anything wrong he's doing. He's Mr. Perfect, you see. That money got him blinded, all right? But here comes the spirit that has hopped on my mother, you see. This Jezebel spirit, okay, that hops on these women when a man of the Lord is present, is that spirit hops on these women, and it says, you need to do something. You need to shut him up. All right, whatever it is. Like I say, it's the same shit that happened when I bust up in their church trying to tell them the truth. The spirit hopped on that. Remember going back to that so-called pastor, the female? Come on, man. You know that's what happened. I went up in there, and the spirit that hopped on the women was unprecedented, okay? But sticking to the story with my mother, that's what happened. So here she comes, the spirit's on her, and the spirit saying, hey, go get him, destroy him, shut him up. He's telling the truth. That's too much like right. So she comes, and everything just gets fucked up. Shit gets heated. I'm not going to get to the specific details, but I done got mad at this point because I already know what it is, but remember, this is in relation to me possibly being, and us being, of the hope for the elect, and hopefully the 144,000, going through this, and the Lord showing me these things, but prior to this, I don't know, my G, because it all kind of blends into one with me. But whatever year this happened, I went to jail 3 times within within the span of like 2 months, and this is during that time. So I don't know if this is before or after those other 2, but let's just say I'm just out of it, bro, and going to jail. But this is what happened, man. Now, in my earlier days in this truth, I used to, because I was staying with my parents, But every now and then, my mom has all these graven images of what the world thinks angels are. They look like little demonic babies, right, with wings and shit. But basically, long story short, I've been like, she got some statues outside, right? Or she has some and I would break those things like periodically, or maybe if it be a little knickknack, I might take it out. Hey, I'm trying to help my mom out. You know how the Lord feel about having, idols and things, and we can get into that and bring scriptures out. But like I say, man, just keep that in mind. So what ended up happening this night, we got into it. My mom, now this is the Lord putting the spirit on me to do these things, man, because I didn't have to do all this. I could have probably just walked away, but that's not what the Lord wanted. Okay. It got heated, and I end up, after we got into this argument with my mom and my dad. Keep in mind, my child is here. I haven't seen her in quite some time. Probably the first time I seen her all year, and it was only for like a few days. But basically, I ended up going in the back, and they had this statue of supposed to be an angel, I guess, but you know what it is. And I smashed that shit into 1,000 pieces. And we argued some more, and I left, bro. And I thought that was it. I thought it was all good. Keep in mind, I'm on felony probation. I did the video about, I did that, in my previous one of my previous videos a couple of days ago. The big shit I had gotten to, with the whole kidnapping charge and things like that. So I am on felony probation for these charges that happened to me in Florida already. They know that they've been with me through this whole shit. Keep that in mind. Their only child. I'm a vet, and I ain't doing nothing to nobody but telling the goddamn truth. Right? So I get back to my apartment, and I get a phone call, bro. It's the police. And when this police officer said what he said to me, I think my heart had stopped, bro. You know what I mean? Just the way it sounded, like I could not believe my parents said that. All he said was, they want to press charges. Where you're at, I'm coming to get you. Your parents want to press charge. You know how crazy that shit sound about something, about a stat. Now we know, like I say, it was just the Jezebel spirit that hopped on my mom. Okay, and my dad being so in fucking la la land, worshiping the woman, is that he allowed the shit to happen. He's supposed to be the man of the house. Like I say, he the man. He done been in a lot of shit. My mama ain't been in no shit her entire life, no cap. Like since she was a kid, she's always been a goody two shoes type person. You understand me? Don't do, like, you know what I mean. But that pride is something very, very dangerous. You understand me? And I got a call, man, from the police officer, say he coming to get me. They pressing charges. Keep in mind, my heart had dropped because I'm on felony probation. I ain't supposed to be getting in no motherfucking trouble. You understand me? Or they finna put me in chain gang, And my heart stopped, bro. I could not believe. I mean, I could believe they would call the police on me because it's happened before, but not when I'm on this felony probation shit, and not while, they know what it is with this Bible and me. I've been prophet. I mean, you would think they would give me the benefit of the doubt and just leave it alone. I left. Wasn't no physical altercation, but they want to be in their feelings and things like that in relation to the spirit the Lord put on them. And that motherfucking cop came and got my ass. All right. And that's what happened, man. I was in the spirit at that point. Once my heart had came back to me, the Lord put the spirit on me, to endure. And this is where the story kind of differs from the last time I was in jail and how the Lord deals with it. Now, keep in mind, I done told the truth. I done broke the damn the idol statue. So I'm already in the Lord's good graces, man. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do as the hopefully elect, okay? And it has came back to bite him a little bit, and it's gonna come back to bite him a little bit more, trust, and during Jacob's trouble. But let's just say, man, I had accepted what was happening. I had cooked me a little meal, and I waited on this police officer to come get me from my apartment, and that's what happened. Now, what I mean by the Lord putting the Spirit on me, hey, that's what happened. I was able to endure it, and I wasn't so distraught. If y'all go back and check my other video about this, the other time I almost wanted to commit suicide because I didn't want to be locked up, and I was going through so much. But this time, hey man, shit, he came and got me, and he's asking me what happened. I'm telling him, and of course I'm mentioning things about the Bible. He's a Jake that came and got me, and then, I'm like, fuck you, man, because I was getting very pissed when I had brought up the Bible stuff, how I was telling the truth, and about me breaking that thing, and that it was a graven image and things like that. And he's like, yeah, I read the Bible too, but you know what I mean, nigga, please, you the police. I don't want, you know what I mean, whatever, dude. I hate niggas like that, bro. Yeah, I read the Bible too. Nigga, please, you the police, nigga. You coming to lock me up by some fuck shit. I don't want to hear nothing about no Bible from you, nigga. Cause if you really, you know what I mean? But going back to the Lord putting the Spirit in this, this is my life. So, like I say, I'm so geeked, and the Lord done put the Spirit on me, man. I'm so geeked. I'm in the back. They got cameras sticking right in your face it's a camera that point at you it's in the front, of course, but it looked right back at you. So I'm in that bitch making faces all in the camera. All right. Like, all praising Yahweh Hashem and Hawashai, because I just felt it, man. I felt it, man. The Spirit on me just praising the Lord, because I knew this was just more tribulation, every time I get in some shit, bro, that's what the first thing I know to do is just thank the Lord, the why Yahweh Hashem Hawashai, whoop de whoop de whoop. Now, okay, just finna get ready to wrap it up, and it's almost the end. But so I get to jail, and I think I had end up like staying the weekend. But this is the kicker, man, and this is like how the Lord works, man. You never know. Okay, my parents, they all pissy, right? Got this Jezebel spirit on them, and they wanted me basically dead. I mean, think about it. If I'm on felony probation, there's a chance that means, I could go to prison. Hell, and I could possibly get killed up in that motherfucker, is what I'm saying, So to me, that was the equivalent of what the Lord say, is going to happen to us during Jacob's trouble, how, they're going to turn on us, and we're going to be enemies of the state and things like that. This is just a precursor to that. Okay, the Lord showing me, hey, this can and will happen. These people, your closest family, will turn their back on your ass, man. How if my parents would do this about some little shit like that, me telling the truth, how much more when the pressure gets applied to them during Jacob's trouble, and they like, man, where these dudes at? And the same thing go for you, brothers, man. It could be your wife, your children, your parents, okay, friends we knew. These motherfuckers will switch on us during Jacob's trouble in the blink of an eye. Look how they do us now. And this is just a testimony to that. But going back to who we are, buddy, you know what I mean? The hopeful elect, you know what I mean? So I get up in there. And if you know politics, you've been in jail, prison, it's politics in there. I'm not finna sit here and sugarcoat it with you. It's just gang shit everywhere. Every time, the jails are run by the gangs. This is the truth, unless you in some punk jail somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But hey, I'm in Georgia, boy. You know what I mean? It's going down. But this how the Lord looking out for his son. So the jails are always packed when I go, and I don't really see an open cell when I get to the dorm. Okay, so it's this dude at the top of the steps, and he like the basic, like the, for lack of better words, man, the leader, the boss, if you will, of the dorm, I guess he like a high-ranking gang member, basically, but he the one that really say, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I mean, the guards got a little bit of control, but we know it's really the inmates that run these places, man, So, like I said, when I got there, I ain't had no place to sleep. The dude thought I was somebody else, bro. Just like in the movies or TV show or sitcom, when people go to jail and they get mistaken for being like this gangsta ass nigga and they roll with it. It's kind of what happened, man. The dude thought I was somebody that I wasn't. Now I didn't never say that, but it's just the Lord. And basically when I got in there, he was like, I know that dude, because what he said was, I saw you here before. Now, when he asked me was I here around that time? Yeah, because remember, I was there before. Same jail, same, dorm place or whatever. And I was there. And I didn't lie. He asked me, was I here? I'm like, yeah, I was here around that time. Yeah. And I don't know if that was me or if he thought I was somebody else. But that's what happened. But him being the quote unquote leader, okay, in this dorm, he gave me a cell to go into. Like I say, there's a lot of politics going on, and I'm not in no gang. You understand me? So they like to be together, basically, the gangs and stuff. So basically, he told me, I could go up in this cell right here. Now, keep in mind, I'm still having to sleep on the floor or whatever because it's so crowded in there. But let's just say, if I could say this with all understanding, this was the best time I ever had in jail in my life. Now keep in mind, going back to, I'm on the up and up. I'm in the Lord's good graces right now, okay? And my parents, or let's say the wicked, we can equate this to Esau, all of our enemies, the heathen, everybody who's going to be against us during Jacob's trouble, okay? Put them in the category where my parents at. They tried to fucking kill me, all right? Weak, prideful, and all these things will blind a person to the point, going back to what they did to Yahushua. All right, very blinded, very prideful, thinking they know it all, and to the point where they didn't, what happened to our Lord and what the Lord did for us. Beat our Lord beyond recognition. Okay, don't and have no idea that this man is completely blameless. All right, Yahushua completely blameless. They done beat him to the point of unrecognition. Same spirit. It didn't. All right, so that's what's going on. Now, like I say, I know I already got mistaken identity. They think I'm the dope man. I'm just keep it real. They think I got dope, right? I ain't say none of this stuff, but like I say, it's crazy up in there. Cause when I first, I got in the cell, man, I turned around, two niggas behind me, basically asking me where I'm from and all this shit, and I didn't lie at all. I'm telling them who I am. And yeah, I was up in here last time and they asked me, do I got drugs? I'm like, no, I got no drugs. But like I say, they were extremely nice to me, bro. I'm just keeping it real. Everybody in there was chill. And when I got in there, right before I got in the dorm, it was this little guy. I'm gonna just keep it real. I used to dance back in the day. We danced down here in where I'm at in Georgia a lot, and I used to dance a lot. Was in dance groups and stuff like that. It's part of our culture down here. But it was this little guy, and right before I got there, he had gotten in a fight with this white boy, knocked his nose off, blood everywhere. That's what they telling me when I get in there. So I didn't see the little dude when I first got in there. They put him in the hole. When he came back, man, it was his birthday. It was his 18th birthday. And when I tell you, this dude danced for almost an hour straight. I'm talking about flipping off the table. The whole dorm is going crazy, okay? The guards got in on it. And it was like a party up in that bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Like I say, I don't wish jail on nobody but our enemy and the wicked. But I don't wish that on none of you brothers to have to be locked up, not even for a minute. But I'm saying that was the best time I had in jail. They tried the wicked, the spirit that was on my parents, they tried to fuck me over, because of pride, and I ended up having a great damn time, bro. It was like a party in there, man. A lot of times the guards, they'll come in there a little sauced up, especially on the weekends, and it was the weekend, so they already a little saucy on the drink. And so, it was just a great time. Once again, everybody was cool. Okay, everybody, they was clowning me about the statue stuff, little, but not nothing disrespectful. These niggas some gangsters, and I'm in there for breaking my mama's statue, so they like making little jokes, but it was cool. It was all love through the spirit. Now, here's the point on all of this. Remember, I'm saying I'm sleeping on the floor. I'm not going to lie to you guys at all. I prayed without ceasing in that motherfucker. When I was sleeping on that floor, it was cool, but I didn't want to be there, man, so I was praying without ceasing. I'm talking about maybe hours and hours, just literally begging the Lord to to get me out of there, man. And I mean, I'm calling my aunt, and I ain't gonna lie, no cap, bro. I ain't talked to my auntie since that incident because, like I say, it's the same shit, man. The same spirit. I'm calling my auntie. No, they're not fucking with me, basically. Back to the misunderstanding. But like I say, I'm cool though. I just want to get out. It's cool up in there. But here's the point on this, man. And like I say, man, because I was sleeping on the floor, I saw stuff that was written on the floor. Of course, you know how it is in jails, graffiti and a lot of the cells and things like that. But because I was sleeping on the floor and I saw written out completely, and it was 144,000, bro, written out, the number. You know what I mean? And of course, if you don't have faith or you're not spiritual, that means absolutely nothing to you. Because like I say, it's, of course, you'll see little Bible verses here and there, just like anywhere else. I seen Bible verses on the girl's shower curtain last night. But you know for it to be on the floor where it was at on my, because I had a little thin ass mat and I was sleeping on the floor, but I just happened to look over and just see 144,000. Just a number, bro. Just random as hell. A 144,000, bro. And for me, based off of that dude thinking I was, the plug, based off of dude coming in there setting off the party, based off of everybody just being very cool, and based off of that 144,000, that is where my faith lies this day. You understand me? Everything happened for a reason, man. And we'll leave it at that, bro. I think you pretty much get the point, bro. That means a lot to me. Remember, that's my lot. I deal with shit with my family, my parents, the incarceration. Remember, I said some brothers probably ain't never even been in handcuffs that's in this truth. That's my thing for me to see that. I had to go all the way to jail just to see that number, bro. That's all I need to see. So I keep my humility by saying hopeful, but I know damn well, based off of my works, based off of my faith, I'm gonna make it through this thing. I'm of the elect, and I'm of the 144,000. I believe in the spiritual power, okay? I pray for spiritual power in that day, okay? So you can't tell me nothing different based off of this much tribulation that I've went through. You can't tell me different. Now, in relation to the rest of the people, it'll always be hopeful elect. Hope that I'm at 144,000. But based off of my experiences and my lot, boy, you know what it is. So with that being said, I hope that this was edifying and motivating. I know it was like a long story just for that, but if you listen to my other video, you'll kind of get a better understanding, because the other times I was in jail, it wasn't like that. You understand? I said it before. I was contemplating suicide, at one point when I was locked up before. Okay, this time it was a big party. They thought they was, sending me somewhere that was gonna be detrimental to me, and it ended up being a fucking night at the club. The water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. And with that,